Hello again, everyone. I am so happy to welcome you, Damien, Jean-Philippe. Thank you for joining us today. Actually, you two are working together for quite a long time now. Could you explain us a bit more about the story between Crédit Mutuel and IBM?
Yes. Good morning. So we started to work on AI with IBM in 2015. At this time, Watson was not able to process the French language. But from the beginning, we decided to work on use cases which would provide value for the business lines. And the two first use cases we worked on consisted in first analyzing the email received by the advisors in the branch offices, and in order to detect the urgency and the intention of the email. And the second use cases was a virtual assistant made available to the branch offices advisors in order for them to find answers to all the questions they could ask regarding products or any other things they had to deal with. For that purpose, we created a cognitive factory composed of internal IT experts as well as business experts, and to some extent with a lot of IBMers. In 2016, 2017, we were able to deploy these two use cases, and the solutions were used at this time by 25,000 of advisors every day. Between 2018 and 2020, we entered into an industrialization phase where we developed additional use cases. And after that, we achieved to generalize a lot of use cases in many activities of Crédit Mutuel. And this year, we are working, or beginning to work with generative AI as well for use and value for the business lines.
Maybe just to complete what Damien said, we talk a lot about business, we talk a lot about technology. Obviously, this is necessary to enable the AI strategy or generative AI. But I think that we should also talk about the culture. And on this standpoint, Crédit Mutuel demonstrate a culture. They are bold and they're dare. And I think that with generative AI, we should work and we should encourage the change of the culture in order to make sure that people are trying, people dare, launch innovative projects using this new generation of technology. I know that very often we say, yes, we should, start fast and fail fast. I know this is a mantra, a management mantra everywhere. I think this is partially true and partially wrong, because I think that the difference between people who are successful in AI and people who are not successful in AI is not to fail fast. Obviously, if you are doing something wrong, stop it. It's obvious. But I think that this is people who stick to their strategy. It's very difficult to stick to a strategy when you have ups and downs, and we will continue to have ups and downs on the AI landscape. And what is the difference between a winner and a failure is about to stick to your strategy and to continue to invest and not do stop and go all the time. Second point, I would like just to tell you that, I know this is not very popular, but this is at least the end of the day what I think. The second thing I would like to add is about AI at scale. Everybody is talking about AI at scale. Very few are doing it. Very few are doing it. And you know what? It's not a question of technology. It's a question of to dare to change the organization and to build an operating model which allow you and enable you to scale. And that's why when Damien is talking about an AI factory, cognitive factory, center of excellence, you name it, your name is, I don't care about the name, I care about what is behind the name, but you need to change things, to change your organization to make sure it is successful. Last thing, AI and data are both sides of the same coin. Don't do data on one side and AI on the other side. At the end of the day, this is, again, both of them are fueling your AI strategy.
Thank you. So another question which is very important is trust and ethical in AI. So how do you approach this, and particularly in the financial sector, Damien?
Yeah, I fully agree. That's a very critical topic for the company as well as for the citizens. On our side, as you know, banking industry fundamentally relies on trust. And the DNA of our company emphasizes ethic and protection of our customers. And Crédit Mutuel, as a mission-driven company, enforces at the evidence such topic. So that's the reason why we have started a long time ago to set up a framework which aims to centralize all the AI models we are building and all the data we have to gather to ensure the auditability and the respect of ethics and all the principles we have to decide to adopt. And for that purpose also, we decided last year to use Watson X from IBM, which provided efficient tools and some additional advantages, typically for that purpose of ethics and auditability of all the models we are developing and using. So it's a very, very important, no doubt about that.
My perspective on trust is without trust, nothing can happen, specifically in financial services, but it's obviously the same thing in all industries. But I want to tell you an equation. It's very simple for me. Even if you don't want to be trusted for moral reason, what I can understand, I don't debate that. But in fact of the day, it's a question of business, because adoption is about, trust is about adoption, is about appropriation, and is about ROI. You will not get any ROI if you are not trusted in your AI deployment. Now the question is how. You need three things, at least in my perspective. You need a platform. If you don't have a platform, I don't see how you will be able to be trusted within your organization, because everybody will do what they think are good, and potentially what they do is not good. So who knows? Who is supervising all of this? Who is able to collect, centralize all the models which are designed, deployed, trained within your organization? If you don't have the platform, good luck. You will enjoy the rest of your years in your different organization. Point number one, platform. Point number two, the models. Models have to be trusted. What does that mean? If you don't access the source, I don't see how you can be sure that you are using appropriate data. You cannot. We don't need to lie to ourselves. And if you're not using a model with appropriate data, one day somebody will tell you in a bad way. And your organization will be badly exposed. Badly exposed. And the last thing is about ethics, which is another discussion. I think that you need to address this point about ethics, which is different about trust. Trust is one thing. It can be monitored, transparency, explicability, robustness, and all these things. But the ethics is something else. But I think that I advise you to work on ethics, and this is what Crédit Mutuel did very early when they decided to create an ethical committee. And this ethical committee is responsible to fix the rules of the game. And they did it explicitly. They are not waiting that somebody is telling you what is ethics or not, because your ethics is better maybe than mine, or my ethics is better than you. Who knows? It's super subjective ethics. It has to be explicit. And I advise you to be explicit in your ethical framework to make sure that your trusted AI platform is aligned with your ethical framework.
You're right. If I may, I would like to add that last year we even adopted a charter for a trustworthy AI. So it goes even further than what the regulation and for instance, AI Act requires from companies like us.
Thank you. I want to go further and know how AI revolutionized the day-to-day operations at Crédit Mutuel. What are the concrete impacts?
That's a key question. Over time, we have integrated AI mechanism in many tools and many business processes. I can share with you some figures today. For instance, we have, concerning the applications and the tools we have made available for the advisors, Nowadays, they are dealing more than 6 million of emails that the advisors get from their customers each month.
That's huge.
Yeah, and these tools have been enhanced over the time, and they are now able to analyze 1.4 million of email attachments. On top of that, the virtual assistant deals with 600,000 questions the advisors are asking each month. Considering the virtual assistant we made available through the online banking systems, the customers are asking 1.4 million of questions every year. That proves the appetence, the interest for our customers to get personalized and enhanced information by their own when they are connected to our IT system. The voice channel through the interactive vocal system is also enhanced by AI, and each month it manages 3 million of calls to detect the intention and route the call to the right person to answer the question from the customer. We also have implemented AI in industrialized processes dedicated to scanning and digitalization of documents, what we call OCR, optical character recognitions. And last year, these tools have analyzed more than 120 million of documents through the AI features. And at the end, thanks to all these tools enhanced by AI, we have been able to free up about 2.4 million of hours from our employees. And this time is used to spend more time with the customers, and in order to develop, to enhance the relationship between the advisors and the customers. The idea is to increase the advice to be more available for the customers. And yeah, that's it.
And this is really, you cannot achieve these numbers. This is facts. Numbers are objective and measurable by design. You cannot achieve this if you don't have the famous operating model I described very briefly at the beginning of the discussion. You just cannot.
The figures are impressive. Can we go even further, push them further? Or the real question is, what are the challenges that you are still facing today?
Yes, we are quite happy with what we have been able to make all together, and with the help of IBM and some others, of course. But it's an ongoing process. And of course, we are still involved in developing new use cases or even improving existing tools and business use cases. The next step will, of course, let a good place to generative AI, because we are thinking that generative AI can provide features that help us to increase what we already have done, and probably create new features which can provide value to the customers as well as to business lines. While we are doing that, we must be fully aligned with our strategy, which is consisting in maintaining a strong relationship between the advisors in the branch offices and the customers. So any time, even if with these processes and these tools, the bank in the branch office, the advisor stays at the center of the relationship. So what we say each time we have the opportunity to do that, technology must remain at the service of human. So that's very important when we are designing such solutions. As you probably understood, we have deployed AI in tools, in processes, in several channels. One of the challenges we have to face nowadays is to make something which is able to manage this cross channels, something which provide additional value by combining all these tools across all the channels. And of course, we also have to focus on ethics and data intimacy, because we are very sensitive to that point. And one additional criteria is everything we are developing is running in our data centers under the control of our teams. And through the mission-driven company rules we have adopted, we are also committed to run at least 99% of our operations, IT operations, and all the data in our data centers. That means even when we are running generative AI solutions, we run that in our data centers, in our private cloud, composed and enriched by GPUs we have deployed in our data centers in France. That's also a key point.
Yeah. And to do the transition with what Damien said, I think the main challenge is us, is human. And I advise you to read my book. This is my promotion time, so I take 30 seconds. But Emma said, OK, Jean-Philippe, do it, because after it will be a nightmare. It's Humain ou IA, qui décidera le futur, aux éditions Duno. I won a prize. I don't know.
You don't have it here?
No. I'm not so good in promotion, as you can see. Good point. And if you buy it, you will not enrich me. I don't need that to do my life. And because 100% of the author rights are going to Fondation Descartes pour les enfants malades. So I just want to see there is not conflict of interest with this book. So I go back to the book. Why this problem will continue to be there and why it will increase. Generative AI will completely increase the challenge with us and machine. To make a long story short, I do AI since now more or less 12 to 14 years. I started in Asia when I was based in Singapore. I continue in New York, and when I was back to Europe and Paris, I'm working with Crédit Mutuel, as you can understand from now. So my point is about the fact that I believed a long time that the performance of decision is always better when human plus machine are working together. I was wrong. Listen to me. Human plus machine performance of a decision, any decision you take, is always better when together are combined. It's a wrong statement. You have some use cases where machine is much better than human, much better. And you have use cases where human is much better than AI. And you have use cases where the collaboration between AI and human are better than alone of the two scenarios. So what is the question? The question is, for which use case I need to leverage option 1, option 2, or option 3? Because tomorrow, the real question that will be asked to you in financial services, in healthcare, in sport, is the following. Who took this decision? And are you sure it was the optimal decision you took for me? And if you are not able to answer, you will go in big troubles, believe me. Specifically on healthcare, when you have something serious, you will not tolerate a fluffy answer. It's a machine. No. Who took this fucking decision? Under which conditions? Under which context? Under which rules? Under which model? Answer this question, believe me, again, but you will have to answer this question.
Thank you for reminding it. We have 1 minute left. So what are the next steps for the banking industry?
I can go? Quantum!
First, we keep in mind that what we are doing is made to improve the user experience, to increase the process efficiency, and for that, we are thinking that generative AI can be useful as well for the business and for the IT. And at the end, the value we will be able to get from that will probably depend on our capability to combine traditional IT, AI, neuronal approaches, and quantum. And that's why we are also fully involved in a quantum journey, and we have created for that purpose also a quantum factory and a quantum academy, as well as we had made 10 years ago for AI.
For us, future of IT will be a combination of bits, traditional IT, qubits, quantum, and neurons, AI. And now we can finish this presentation discussion with Emma and Damien, and you go back to our first point. Again, you need to dare. You need to engage this kind of technology now and not wait, I don't know what, because at the end of the day, it is now which is happening, and you need to create the talents, the skills, the people who will be able tomorrow to really take advantage of this convergence of technologies in some use cases, such as fraud, such as churn, or many others that we are working on with Crédit Mutuel, Euro-Information, and other customers in the world.
Thank you very much. I'm sure we'll have many beautiful stories to tell again next year and many, many years on the coming years. So thank you for being with us and for sharing all these insights. And see you soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.